How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
Another week of what we consider to be our church, Will.
Yeah, welcome
the
church
to church of MMA. Welcome to church. Yes, I absolutely love it. So for anybody that's joining us for the first time, I'm Romero.
Is Will?
It's my boy, Will. Oh, I miss Tony, dude. It's my boy, Will. Yeah, and we talk all things MMA, all things fights, So I know we had a few fights go on last night, Will.
Yeah, not bad.
But before we get into that,
bad cards once again.
Yeah, another bad card that, well, at least cards that people say are going to be bad, or people who say, hey, it's not going to be stacked.
And then
people, the people that say this are some of the people that listen to us on Spotify, Radio Public, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, man. Some of these folks like and subscribe us, Will.
It's true, and that's why they come to church, So, we can redirect them.
And, sometimes those same folks, we talk to them on Instagram.
Yeah.
How can they find us?
Where they can find us at Story of the Fight on Instagram, Twitter. We have a Facebook group chat called Story of the Fight Chat. And then obviously here on YouTube.
Yep. And again, I'm super active on the Twitter, going on there.
Were you active last night?
Somewhat active. I was more active a couple weeks ago.
Prelims or what?
Dude, the prelims were fire.
The prelims were insane.
Probably some of the best prelims I'm seeing in a long time.
Yeah. They know what they're doing. It's crazy.
I want to apologize in advance because I'm drinking coffee right now, and I usually don't drink coffee. Dude, I'm up. I'm ready to go. I've got the energies today. I usually don't drink coffee. It stuns my growth. Yeah, dude. It stuns my growth. So I want to continue getting taller.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not too late.
It's not too late, dude. Only in my 30s,
Yeah.
All right, man. So we're going to get started with the main event, Will.
Yeah.
That would be
I was super excited about this.
Jared Cannonier versus Calvin Gastelum.
Yeah, I was super excited about this. And when it started, like the first 30 seconds, I was just like, in my mind, I was like, yes, like this is high-level middleweights. Middleweight is, in my opinion, one of the best divisions just because you get crazy power, crazy athleticism.
Yes.
Decent cardio, right? Like it's right. It's a perfect mix. And both these guys are so exciting, and I love both these guys. And I was just, when it finally came to the main event, maybe it was because the card took so long. This fight started at like 11 o'clock, it seemed like.
It was definitely 11:30 over here.
Yeah.
On my neck of the woods, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it was actually 9:50 when this fight started in Pacific time. So I feel for everybody else. But when it finally got to it and the fight started and they kind of were feeling each other out, I was like, it's worth it. This is sick. Like, I'm very excited for this fight.
Well, I'm always excited to see Calvin Gastelum fight because he's somebody that probably shouldn't be a middleweight.
No,
but
he's not a
got the power to be able to drop pretty much any middleweight on the roster.
Yeah, and he's got the chin to take middleweight shots.
Oh my God, that chin! He has a granite chin for sure.
Yeah.
I was going into who'd you pick first of all before the fight started? Who'd you have?
Cannonier.
Same here. I had Cannonier. I was leaning Calvin Gastelum up until I found out that Calvin needed the extra hour to make weight. So I was
at least he made it.
He did. He did. So I after I saw that, I was like, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go Cannonier, because I've seen where Calvin comes in with looking in phenomenal shape, makes weight easily. Then we've seen the other end where he misses weight or he's struggling to make weight, and we see a different type of Calvin. So I'm glad I went with Cannonier.
Yeah, for me, Cannonier, in my opinion, is the third best middleweight in the UFC. I think it's Izzy, Rob,
What's he ranked?
Cannonier. I think he's third.
Yeah.
But I think that's the way that works is.
Yeah, it doesn't count the champ in there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Who's ranked above him right now? Paulo Costa? Get out of here.
No.
See, it's Izzy, Whitaker, Costa.
Cannonier.
And let's not forget that this fight was supposed to be Cannonier versus Costa, and Costa was
Had to get a hair
pussyfooting around.
transplant.
And yeah, exactly. And so
True story, though.
True story, yeah. Which sucks because a win over Costa would have been bigger for Cannonier, and it sucks. Gastelum always steps in, and he's no slouch, right? This is an impressive win, and this fight kind of confirmed that to me because I've always kind of felt that way about Cannonier. I've always been a very big Cannonier fan, except for one time he did my boy dirty. When was that? Who? Back in 2019 when he fucked up Anderson Silva with leg kicks, broke my goddamn heart. But he's so scary, man. He hits so goddamn hard, and former heavyweight, crazy.
But I was thinking about that. He is probably an example of what DC should have done.
And Kelvin.
And Kelvin, he should probably be a welterweight maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm saying DC, right? Fighting at heavyweight. Then he fought at 205, and he had to cut weight to get to 205. But in all reality, he probably should have been fighting at middleweight.
Yeah, probably.
Makes me wonder. What if?
Makes you wonder. What if? But so Cannonier, I see a lot of the talk about this fight is more about Kelvin's lack of discipline to get to 170. His coach is telling him that he was up 2 rounds going into the 5th, all these things. And it's all about Kelvin. But I don't want to discredit Cannonier because, in my opinion, this performance was I want to see him fight Izzy so bad. It sucks that I'm happy for Whitaker, right, for him to get the rematch against Izzy. But at the same time, I want to see Izzy face new opponents. And I feel like Cannonier is that guy. And Izzy, I think, also thinks that.
Yep.
Izzy wants to fight Cannonier so goddamn bad, and I want to see it because in this fight, Cannonier showcased to me that he is completely evolved from just a powerful guy, that he's so cerebral in there. His awareness of what he needs to do defensively and offensively is so good. It's so impressive to me. His footwork is insane now. The way he avoids shots, the way he once he finds a weakness, he keeps going back to it.
He exploits it.
He exploits it, and then he changes again. Right, the right hook, the lead right hook, not a check right hook, but the lead right hook, dropped Gastelum. He kept going back to it. Then he found the uppercut. Then he found the step in elbow. Then he found the high kick and the low outside leg kick to the body kick. I mean, the guy is he's overwhelming. He's overwhelming.
And it's not like he's just touching you.
No. And it makes me wonder, man. It really makes me wonder if. And this is a big if, right? And it's props to Whitaker. Whitaker fucking broke his arm with the high kick, right? It's not like it was a fluke injury. Whitaker broke his arm. If the arm didn't get compromised, I wonder how that fight would have went because Whitaker rocked him and almost knocked him out late in that fight, if I remember right. But you got to imagine something had to do with the broken arm affecting his defense. Like I said, Whitaker broke his arm. I don't want to discredit him whatsoever, but it's a fight I would want to see again. I think Izzy, Whitaker, Cannonier is such a good top 3. Fuck, man. I think they're so talented, all 3 of them. I'm super impressed.
Something I wish the corners would stop doing. And I mean, who am I? I'm just fucking sitting here in the chair watching fights. But something I wish the corners would stop doing is telling their fighters, you're up 2 rounds to 1. And the funniest thing to me is that, they're in the corner and we got Rafael Cordero and they're going out to start the 4th round. And he tells Gastelum, you're up 2-1. They go over to the other corner and they tell Cannonier, you're up 2-1.
Yeah.
I found that to be hilarious.
I know.
And it's dude, nobody knows.
And one corner was right.
Yeah.
They guessed, but they were right.
But they were right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. You're doing a huge disservice to your fighters by doing that. What would the urgency have looked like? Yeah, open scoring.
Yeah.
Open scoring, for sure. But what would the urgency have looked like from Gastelum if the corner would have said, dude, all these rounds are too close. They're all too close. You could be up 2-1. You could also be down 0-3 right now.
Yeah, and we know that when Gastelum gets that sense of urgency, he puts it out there. He doesn't he doesn't waste that sense of urgency. He knows how to apply it, So
Absolutely.
you can say, right, coaches know their fighters better than anybody. They might know what they need to tell them, but I mean, at that point, there's no harm in saying, hey man, this is a very close fight. We might need a finish here.
Or even say, dude, this is too tough to score. If it's tough for us to score, and we're sitting right here, like, what about the judges that don't know shit about MMA?
Yeah. And can we talk about, we always talk shit about the judges. Can we talk about how good they were in this fight?
Sure.
All three judges had the exact same scorecard. Not only did they all agree with who won the fight, but the exact same scores as well. They all scored it. First round to Cannonier, second round Gastelum, third and fourth Cannonier, fifth round Gastelum.
Time out. Rich the Casual. Is this the first time in the show history that Will has given recognition to the judges? It might be. I don't know. But dude, week in, week out, we're always talking about the bad judging. Was Sal D'Amato part of this one?
He was.
Hey, you know what? Props to Sal D'Amato then.
Props to Sal.
Props to Sal.
Got his shit together. He must listen. There we go. He must come to church,
He must. He was like, dude, I gotta get my shit together. Tired of these guys talking shit about me every fucking weekend. Yeah. All right, man. But it was a fun main event.
Yeah, and another thing I really want to talk about too.
Hey, Rich says definitely props to Will for personal growth.
Yeah. Hey, same with Sal. Personal growth. But another thing that really impressed me about Cannonier in this fight is his ability to change the tides. Because he won the first round, and Gastelum took the second. And normally, in a fight like this, if you win the first, Gastelum takes the second, he's got the momentum. It's going to take a hell of a lot to change that momentum back in your favor, and he did. He won the third and the fourth on all three judges, and in my opinion. So
you gave did you give Gastelum the second and the fifth?
I did.
Me too. Okay,
yeah,
those were the ones I gave him.
Yeah, he had it seemed like he had Cannonier hurt, but I guess the booth said it was an eye poke in the fifth. What are you going to do? But, I mean, he didn't capitalize on it, but I think he was the more aggressive fighter in the fifth round. Cannonier looked like he was maybe running out of gas in the fifth. The start of the fifth, Cannonier looked sharp. Like super sharp, but then as the round continued, he was more just like evasive, and I think he was gassing. I've never seen someone sweat that much in a fight.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, it was a good fight. I enjoyed it. Calvin is always that guy that's just like at the cusp of just next level, always. And when he fought against Izzy, he showed what he's capable of.
Fuck, man, what a fight that was.
Yeah, but like when he fought Hermanson. And that quick, what was it? Was an ankle lock, I believe. Like I just
the heel hook, right?
The heel hook. That's what it was. I just don't know what Gastelum I'm gonna get. And sometimes, like I said, they say he has an excellent camp. Shows up, a couple pounds under. Sometimes they say he has an excellent camp. Needs an hour to make weight. Like I never know what I'm gonna get, man. Yeah.
Has one win in his last 6.
Oof.
Yeah, 1-5 in his last 6 fights. Not what you want.
That is not. That's definitely not what you want if you're part of Gastelum's team. So,
no. To be fair, he's fought murderers in those 6 fights.
Who else has won one in the last 5 or 6?
Is it the Carpenter?
Clay Guida. Clay Guida. Do you have anything else on the main event before we move on?
No. I just want everybody's talking kind of shit about Gastelum. I don't see anybody praising Cannonier. The guy fought an amazing fight, so that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Absolute warrior, man. All right. So before that, we had Madson versus Clay Guida, and let me tell you, I have always been a Clay Guida fan, man.
How can you not be, dude? Look at him.
He's such a savage. He's the original Teen Wolf before Rich the Casual came along, man.
He looks like that dude from Boondock Saints.
Boondock. That's a great movie.
Like Crazy Friend.
That's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Underrated.
I haven't seen it in forever.
Rich the Casual. If you ever wonder what you're going to look like here in 20 years, it's this guy. Look at this All-American Clay Guida, bro. Come on. Walking around with the fishpole and a flag on it.
Yeah, the carpenter.
He's so awesome, man. I love it. But like classic Clay Guida, great footwork, nonstop energy. This guy has cardio for days, man. Cardio for days. And I actually thought Madson was gonna be able to control Guida a lot more up against the cage and make this a much dirtier fight. Dude, it just shows how good though Clay Guida is in his fight IQ.
Mm-hmm. His fight IQ and his octagon awareness.
Oh yeah.
The way he resets positions is so impressive because he'll get in kind of a spot and then he'll just jog out and then he's in the center and you're like, what the fuck?
Look at this. Perfect timing, Richie Casual.
An excellent pummeling from Guida. He just understands MMA grappling really, really well.
And that's one of the things he said going in, right? Because everybody was talking about Madson being a silver medalist and being an Olympian in Greco-Roman, and he says, "Well, this is MMA, man. This is MMA wrestling."
Yeah, it's different when I can hit you in the face and I can knee you in the clinch and all this shit. I mean, he's been a staple in the UFC for so long. At this point, you can't deny him, right? Of course he's talented. Of course he's a high level fighter. I mean, goddamn, he was beating Brian Ortega until Brian Ortega kneed him, KO'd him with 10 seconds left in the fight. You know what I mean?
He's high level.
He's high level.
And how old is he, by the way?
I
think he's 60.
He might have been called the carpenter before Jesus was.
Dude, he's been around for a minute, man. Oh, he's 39.
Yeah.
He's 39. And I think he made his debut, what was it, UFC 64 or?
Long time ago.
UFC 64, 2006. He's been doing his damn thing since 2006 in the UFC, dude.
Yeah.
Talk about longevity.
And split decision here. Sal D'Amato gave it to Guida.
It was a close fight.
Yeah.
It was a close fight. Madson still undefeated.
In no way was it a 30-27 Madson. I don't agree with that whatsoever, but it was a very close fight.
For sure.
I think the third round decided it for me. I had Guida taking the second round.
Okay. And you gave Madson the third?
Yeah, but slightly.
Would you have been mad if it went the other way?
No. There was one of those fights where, when they were reading the scorecards, it was a split decision. Also, can we talk about your boy announcing that it's a split decision before saying the scorecards?
Oh,
you notice that?
What's his name?
Is it Joe Ramirez?
No,
is that his name?
No, not every Mexican's last name is Ramirez, dude.
What's his name?
It's
Cortez. Is it Cortez?
I don't know. It's one.
I can't remember this.
Martinez. Joe Martinez.
Hey, I was closer.
Oh, you were. Yes. No, yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
We're just so spoiled with Buffer.
Yeah, I mean,
Buffer's the best to ever do it, man.
Jose Martinez. Thank you, Daniel Gonzalez Pacheco.
Yes. Hey, shout out Daniel Gonzalez Pacheco. Thanks for joining us this morning, man.
Yeah, welcome to the church.
Welcome to the MMA church. No, so that, again, great fight, Clay Guida. I don't know how many losses Clay Guida would have to for the UFC to cut ties, because he's just been a fan favorite, and he's still good.
Well, the thing is too, how you last long in this sport is you be a staple and a fan favorite like Guida, but also it's not like he's getting blasted and knocked out in his losses. Yep. I mean, sure, he's been knocked out, but it's not like every single fight he loses, he's getting flatlined. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. Listen to his last loss. So he lost to Madson. Before that, he lost to Bobby Green. Okay, he beat Michael Johnson. He lost to Jim Miller. Lost to have you ever heard of this guy, Charles Oliveira?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, how about Brian Ortega? Ever heard of this guy?
Yeah, and how many times has he been knocked out?
Ooh, not many, I don't think.
Looks like just once. It was the Ortega one. I think that's the only time he's ever been finished with strikes.
He's lost to a guillotine choke. Hey,
he's only been subbed in decision, other than that one knockout.
Hey, his kryptonite might be the guillotine.
Yeah, I mean that's most wrestlers' kryptonite, right? Because they shoot in if it's late in the fight and they shoot in kind of sloppy, the guillotine's there. I mean, he's got a fight in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? I love, and here we are talking about Clay Guida more than Marco Madsen, the undefeated Olympian. But
he's just such a fan favorite. You love this guy. You gotta love this guy. How can you not love Clay Guida? And then before he gets in there, he's getting slapped in the face.
His brother's slapping him.
He's bouncing up and down. It's just classic Clay Guida. Dude,
like,
and
what the fuck?
There's just a few things that you can always count on. No matter what happens, this is gonna happen. And one of those things is Clay Guida bouncing up and down. Having a lot of high energy, hair flipping around, having fun in there. He looks like he has a blast.
At the end of every round, he's circling the cage, running. At the end of the fight, you can't even contain him. He's still running around everywhere. It's fucking crazy.
Have you seen the picture that Uriah Faber posted 2008 of Clay Guida? It was roof riding, where he's sitting on top of the car, and Uriah Faber's cruising around with Guida just sitting on top of the car. Hilarious, man. Good stuff. Daniel Gonzalez Pacheco comments and says, too competitive not to keep. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what I'm saying. He might lose fights, right? But it's when he does, this is a split decision loss. Mm-hmm. Against what a lot of people are. Marco Madsen has a lot of hype. He had even more hype. Clay Guida stepped up. Marco Madsen's not having the easy ride that I think the UFC was trying to give him at the start of his UFC career. He's had a tough go outside of the cage too. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
hey, props to him.
Though. He seems like a good dude.
He really does.
Only Danish fighter. I'm Danish, so that's kind of cool.
You're Danish?
Yeah, Fredrickson, super Danish.
I didn't know that. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, we have one.
You got one.
We got one.
For all my Danish folk out there, we got one.
Yeah.
All right. Ready to go to the next one?
Yeah. Let's move on. This is a fucking awesome fight, by the way.
Yeah, dude, this was such an exciting first round. So we had Parker Porter versus Chase Sherman. Now, dude, Chase Sherman, he looked so good, man. He looked elusive that first round. I'm talking about the first round specifically.
Okay.
All right, let me slow down. Where Porter came in with some really wide shots. He was winding up a lot. And Sherman was doing
big shots.
Yeah, he was doing just enough just to be able to move back.
Look at that last name.
Brian, for sure, dude. Guida, always fun. Danish represent. Awesome.
We got one.
He would be able to move back just a little bit to avoid that big shot from Porter, and he'd come in with some straight shots after that, It
was just bap, 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 bap.
Yeah.
Just short little hooks. Dude,
like that right there.
Yeah. The problem with Chase Sherman in this fight, though, and it was evident right away, is that his head movement was good, but his footwork was not great.
He relied too much just on that upper body movement, and that's it.
Yeah. His feet just weren't moving in and out. And Porter's were.
Everything on Porter was moving. His belly, everything was moving.
Yeah.
And it didn't stop.
No, and it kept coming forward.
All of it.
When the fight started, they were Chase Sherman, the biggest favorite on the card. And I was like, what? First of all, it's heavyweights. That's crazy. Heavyweights should never be the biggest favorites in underdogs splits because anything can happen at heavyweight. But then I was like, dude, do people not watch Parker Porter fights and they just see him and think, oh, this guy's probably unathletic and he's one of those heavyweights that aren't ranked, that he's just there because he maybe has some knockouts? No, dude, I really like watching Parker Porter fight. His last fight was fucking awesome too.
Give me Porter versus Felipe. Have they fought yet?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say coming into
banger.
This.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Dude, that's fantastic. Great minds think alike.
Parker Porter, his leg kicks, he kind of has some unorthodox entries that worked really well for him. His top game was really good, obviously. Look at him. But, he just, I think, outwilled. You look at them and you don't think Parker Porter is going to fight at a pace that's going to drown Chase Sherman.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, he did. And they kept talking. I think maybe Sherman was concussed. Porter versus Tuivasa would be banger.
Oh, my God.
I think Tuivasa is still a little bit too high ranked for Porter to get a fight.
And drunk from his last win.
Yeah.
He needs some time to recover.
If Porter wins his next fight and Tai Tuivasa loses his next fight, or there's just holdups and stuff, man, that's a fun fight, dude. That's a very fun fight.
Daniel coming through with that comment saying Porter versus Tuivasa. So that would be a fantastic fight.
I do wish that Parker Porter would go back to the straight mustache, though. I didn't like the whole beard. Get rid of this. Just keep the mustache. Because, every time he fights, you see a ton of comments saying Parker Porter looks exactly like what you would expect someone named Parker Porter to look like. And it's even more so when he's got the stash.
I'm texting one of my good buddies over here, Chris Haverda, shout out Haverda, and he texted me. He's like, I'm pretty sure I saw him storm the Capitol. When he saw Porter, and I was like, he might have been one of them. I don't know.
Hey, Chase Sherman too, man.
Oh man, but very exciting.
But I love this fight. I like the rest of the fight too.
When's the last time you've seen somebody that gassed?
Yeah, it's been a while. Data 5000 versus Kimbo Slice, maybe.
He wasn't that bad. He didn't die in the octagon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
true.
Sherman, again, for somebody that was relying so much just on the upper body movement and being so gassed that third round, in the third round, he started willing to take a shot to try to give a shot. But the shot he was trying to give was so slow that at that point, with Porter still, having movement.
Porter talked about it too. He said, I might be exhausted, but the head doesn't stop moving. And his head movement looked really good, even late in the fight.
Slipping a lot.
Really good. He slips, man. I really like Parker Porter. Also, can we talk about the groin strike in the third?
That wasn't really a groin strike? Is that the one?
I think it probably was, but, he...
Oh, his corner, take off 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then how about Parker Porter? I wish we could get a mic from by the booth, because he was over there by the commentary team and he was talking a bunch of shit, and I wish we could hear that, because the commentary booth was cracking up at whatever he was saying.
Dude, but you know what? Like, I completely understand where Sherman's corner is coming from, because their fighters gas.
Yeah, you do that. You take that.
Sherman. I'm sorry, Sherman. Yeah, you take that. But you know who else is getting a 5-minute rest?
Yeah, exactly.
Porter.
Yeah.
That's already fresher than you are. So guess what? He's going to come out even quicker.
How about this? When something like that happens, groin strike, and because you can't have the guy who groin strikes. Derek Lewis has said before that he'll intentionally groin strike to get a rest, because he knows they're going to take some time.
Oh, seems like Will froze. Hey, Richie Casual, is that Will that went down?
Yeah, it's definitely Will. He's frozen. I think he's booting back up.
All right, so yes, when it comes to the groin strikes.
Oh, here it comes. He just moved.
Oh, there you are.
All right,
you're back.
I'm back.
You're back. All right, so you're talking about the groin strikes. All I heard, Derek Lewis says he intentionally groin strikes somebody.
Lewis intentionally groin strikes because he knows he'll get a break out of it. He's said that before. What I think we need to start doing is someone gets groin strike, they get their rest, but the guy who made the foul maybe has to jog in place, do some squats,
jumping jacks,
do some up downs or something, has to maybe jog around the cage. He can't get a rest, man. Come on.
Can you imagine how stupid that would look too? Like somebody just in the corner, and then just one person just running laps around the octagon the entire time.
They have to start shadow boxing.
Rich says, "Did Will groin strike somebody to get a break from the podcast?" Right there.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. Yeah. All right, but hey, props to Porter. We'll move on to the next fight. We have Kakhramonov. Yeah. Okay, I got it. Did I get it right?
All
right. And versus Trevin Jones. So Trevin Jones, I believe this took the last minute, right?
No, I think Kakhramonov took it last minute.
Is that what it was?
I believe so. Because he missed weight, right?
Because it seemed like Jones was the one that gassed a little bit sooner in this one.
Well, because that's the pace that Kakhramonov applies, right? And his style, that grappling heavy style, that's exhausting, So, and he was able to, at least in the first round, kind of apply that a little bit. Trevin Jones, when you're constantly they'd say that all the time, right? When they're up against the cage like that, the person who's defending usually is exerting way more energy. Yep. And you don't want to be taken down early by Kakhramonov, because then that's a whole round of top game probably from him. And then it's an uphill battle after that. So he was probably fighting real hard not to go down in that first round. So that probably gassed him.
Look at this guillotine, by the way. Rich Casual putting it up there. Kakhramonov had one of the tightest guillotines I've seen here in a while. The way that Jones went out. Now, Mindy, for anybody who doesn't know Mindy, my wife was watching some of these fights with me yesterday, and she asked afterwards, she goes, "Is he okay?" And I was like, "Well, he went to sleep, but honestly, and there it is right there."
Yeah, you were like, he was okay until Herb Dean yanked him up and gave him whiplash. That was crazy.
Probably, if I'm Herb Dean, probably fix his leg. You know what I mean? So it's not all twisted, all crazy.
In the moment, that was probably his two immediate thoughts were, if he falls back, he might tear something in his knee. And I don't want his head to smack the canvas full dead weight. Not good. But you have a grip on him. Maybe instead of yanking him up, we just hold him there and
like a baby?
Slowly maybe start adjusting. Yeah.
Just rest his head on your arm a little bit.
Obviously, it's in the moment, right?
Hey, time out. Imagine Herb Dean does this, and you come to from being out, and the first thing you see is Herb Dean just looking over you, dude, holding you like a little baby. It's okay now.
He's just patting you on the back. But
oh man,
I thought not great reffing in this fight. For sure separate.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was rough, man. It was rough. Nothing was happening. And DC is trying to DC's the grappler, right? He's trying to justify it and he's like, people watching this at home, they don't realize this is one of the hardest positions in the sport. Cool. Awesome.
And then Felder was like, hey, but probably separate him right about now, right?
Yeah.
I love Felder.
I could give a shit what's the hardest thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter to me what's difficult. It's not there's no progression. There's no progression. And at that point you have to separate, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how hard it is.
Hey, and I know we rag on we rag on Herb Dean, and I know we rag on the judges, but it's all in the moment, man. I don't know what I would do if I was in that situation. I probably would have let him fall back and be like, no, when he's out.
Oh yeah,
I'd just be on top of him, slapping him, hey, dude, hey, come on.
Well, in the perfect world, right? You slowly lay him down, lift his legs up, but in the moment,
and that's what I'm saying. In the moment. So, Herb Dean.
You don't want a repeat of Lyoto Machida going down the way he did. You don't want that. So, I get it.
Yeah.
He acted with the best interest in. Yeah.
That jerk. Anyways. That jerk. Great great finish for Kakhramonov.
That drug addict. That cheater.
Hey, bro, take it easy. Yeah, we're just. Jeez. All right, the fight before that, we had from Hell Pichel versus Austin Hubbard.
From Hell Pichel.
That's an awesome
38 years old.
We were talking about mustaches earlier, though.
Yeah, fantastic.
My man's rocking one of the best mustaches. One of the best mustaches.
Yeah. That was someone was like, man, he looks like a mini Don Fry. And then it's and then someone commented under it was Little Fry.
Dude, I could see that though. I could see that.
Definitely. Yeah, mix between Don Fry and Cup Swanson, right?
I mean, he also looks like the next person that'll tell me I was doing 55 into 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely looks like a cop. I mean, he fits the bill.
Yeah. Where are you headed?
What does it matter, bro? If I was speeding, just give my ticket. Dude, exciting fight. Did this one fight of the night? Which fight won fight of the night?
No fight of the night. Only performance of the night.
Okay, here we go. So performance of the nights, we had Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Royval. That was for Pantoja. We had Nunes, Knight, and Bahamondes. All deserving.
So no fight of the night. Yeah. But Vince Pichel, 38 years old, 10 years into his UFC career, and had his best performance. I mean,
that's nuts.
He broke his record for significant strikes landed in a fight. I mean, I'm so happy for him because I was a big fan of him when he was on Ultimate Fighter.
Tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was cool, man. I was in high school back then, so it was he was one of the OGs for me,
For sure. No, it was a good fight, though. Now, the question is at 39, is it? 38, 39?
38.
38, what's next?
I mean, he's still growing.
Which is crazy. Right? We continue talking about somebody that's 38 that, again, you don't want to stun your growth.
Yeah.
So 38, and he's still evolving as a fighter.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he really is. He looks phenomenal in this fight. Leading up to this fight, I think Hubbard was the underdog betting, but if you looked at social media and stuff, everyone was like, oh, Hubbard's going to be too much for Pichel. That was the consensus going into this for most fans, I think. And he kind of shut everybody up. He looked really good.
Yep. Yep. I mean, I don't have much to say about this
He's
fight,
out
but
there, 38 years old, throwing Superman elbows. It's fucking sick. That's awesome.
For sure, man. For sure. All natty?
Yeah. You know how I feel about that.
They're all on steroids. All right. The fight before that. This is probably one of the more exciting fights for me for the night.
From this point on, it's just like more and more exciting. We're
Alexander
skipping,
Pantoja.
Oh yeah, that's next.
That's the next one. Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Royval.
Yeah, I was very excited for this fight.
I was pumped for this fight.
Flyweights. People need to realize how amazing this division is right now.
Yeah, to think that they were about to toss this division out the window too.
It's so stacked, man. Yeah, and I still see people talk about how flyweight has nothing, dude. It's
such
so
high
good.
level. Last night's fight was so high level, man. Even when Royval had him in what was it, an ankle lock? Was it?
It was. There wasn't really anything there. There was the threat of something.
It was threatening.
Yeah,
threatening a leg lock, let's say.
Yeah, Pantoja still had his other leg in. He wasn't in the saddle position, so it wasn't like super dangerous, but a mistake from Pantoja would make it very dangerous. So
yes. So
very
that's what
sketchy situation.
That's what I was thinking about too, right? Like just the wherewithal, sitting there, didn't panic, you know, and just took everything by stride. Whatever Royval was doing, quick counter. You know, he would try to transition to something else, quick counter. So just
very
fantastic
in this fight.
And Royval, like, how many times did Pantoja end up trying to take his back? And whether it was with the Granby roll or whatever it would be, dude, just constantly moving. So it was hard for Pantoja to, you know, get anything in. Yeah.
Royval is just so goddamn active. But I thought Pantoja, the commentary team was just talking the whole time about how, Royval's smothering him, like Pantoja's gonna gas, all this shit. Bro, it's flyweight. It's flyweight. He's not gonna gas. You know, Figueiredo might gas, right? Because he should probably be fighting a division up. But Pantoja's not gonna gas. What you might think of as him gassing, it's him being patient. Because when Royval was out there throwing crazy combos, Pantoja was landing straights right down the middle every once in a while. That was snapping his head back. I mean, he looked really good in this fight. He dealt with Royval better than I think most people can.
I mean, when we take a look at Royval coming in beat Tim Elliott, which was a great fight. Kai Kara France, then loses to Moreno and Pantoja. Nothing to hang your head on, man. You know,
especially when you consider the Moreno fight was going crazy until his shoulder went out, right? So, I mean, it's a win, right? For Moreno, I'm not going to take anything away from it, but it's not like he got blasted through or anything like that. You know, it was competitive.
Now the talk is Alexander Pantoja versus Brandon Moreno, possibly.
Well, Dana said before the fight that the winner of this fight is getting a title shot. So, I think that makes sense. You know, Pantoja has 2 wins over Moreno.
Ooh, that's such a good fight now.
He's got 2 wins over him.
I'm so excited for that one.
At this point, I think Moreno has elevated his game more so than Pantoja has. I think Moreno that Pantoja has beaten doesn't even exist anymore. I think Moreno is a completely different fighter. So I'm very excited for this fight.
So am I, man. So am I.
I'm very excited they're not doing the Figgy rematch right away.
Also, can we just take some time to appreciate Pantoja's hair last night?
Oh, dude. If you look at his picture on Tapology, you're like, who's this guy? And you look at him now, dude.
Look at that picture. I mean, he looks fantastic.
Yeah, he looks great.
Hair all over the place. Long hair, don't care. You know, just went out there, choked somebody out, and he's like, I don't give a shit. You know, like, what are you going to tell me?
Yeah. I'm about to give the nicest call out ever. That was so cool. That was so cool. Yeah.
It was. All right, we're skipping the Austin Lingo and Saldana fight.
Yeah, it was fun, right? But it's not much to talk about.
Word.
In my opinion.
About Kelleher versus Pilarte?
Not much to talk about.
No, just dominant top position by Kelleher. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Other than dominant top position by Kelleher. So just probably the most dominant. Well, I want to say the most dominant because there's some other fights we're going to cover. Because like the one that we are going to talk about, Nunes versus
from here on out,
Malecki. Holy
from here on out, it's fucking crazy.
The first 4 fights, 4 finishes. I was like, what am I watching right now? Is this real life?
I know.
What is going on?
So how about this? You text me and you're like, bro, you're missing because I was at the Battle of the Bay in Oakland, and
Go Giants.
you were like, you're wrong about that, but you were like, and you were wrong about this because you're like, man, Will, you're missing some crazy fights. So we were driving home in traffic, and I was like, fuck, I'll put them on, and I put on the little magnet thing that holds my phone, and Brian Kelleher fight. And I was like, what the fuck, man? I thought these fights were crazy.
I should have put down leading up to. I should put a disclaimer.
Yeah, these fights have been crazy so far. But I went back and watched everything, and very good.
Had come in, I think, what was it? 2-0, 4-0, or something like that. I don't remember.
She's 2-0. The UFC put out 4-0 to try to make her look better. All respect in the world, no disrespect, but she's 2-0.
Yes.
They moved some of her amateur fights to pro fights to make it look better.
I believe she came in the favorite in this one. And so when I saw this, and I'm picking she did. And when I saw this, I was like, whoa, no. I'm picking Nunes on this one.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And, in the beginning, Malecki tried using her length, which you could see it here with a body kick, right? And I thought, okay, if she's able to maintain this throughout the whole fight, use her footwork to stay on the outside and continue moving around, we'll see how this goes. But Nunes' pace and pressure was way too much for Malecki.
Yeah,
that overhand left.
Yeah. She reminds me of Dan Henderson, that like hunch, no neck, just fucking coming forward, throw that hydrogen bomb.
Yeah, although I think Hendo does that, he does it himself. I don't think Nunes has a choice. That's
Bro,
the
I don't
difference.
know, man. I don't think Henderson can turn his head or look up and down.
Oh, maybe.
All those years of wrestling, man.
The nonstop pressure, and again,
that's what you have to do.
What fight was it that remember they kept on doing the same move over and over and over again because it worked? It was recent too. Remember. But Nunes found that overhand left. Yeah. And Malecki, for some reason, was just not seeing it coming in. So she's like, oh, okay. Overhand left. Overhand left. Overhand left.
Yeah.
Straight right. Overhand left.
When I knew this fight was over was the first time that Nunes swarmed her against the cage, and Malecki's response was the high guard, right? Nothing wrong with high guard, but then turn like this and then stick her leg out like this to kind of try to push her away.
Get away from me.
I was like, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not how you're going to get away,
Yep.
But it didn't work.
Nunes, man, she looks like she could be an exciting fighter in this weight class.
Yeah, dude.
8-1 now. Climbed to 8-1.
She's got a pair of finishes on her, right?
Yep.
4 finishes.
Dude, and she rocked her with that last left that connected right on the chin. Because Malecki gave one of those looks where she looks off to nowhere before she hits. Yeah. And that was all she wrote.
Also, can we talk about there's no shame in this at all.
Okay, wait. It's not good when you start off like this.
Yeah. There's no shame in this. I would probably do the same exact thing.
Okay, where you go with this?
Not a knockout.
Not a knockout.
Not a knockout. Not out. Not unconscious.
For sure stunned, though.
For sure. Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I think it was more of I don't want this anymore.
I do not want this. Please don't let anything else come. I mean, I've never seen a knockdown finish without follow-up shots. Yeah. Listen, here's the difference. Jared Cannonier knocks down Kelvin Gastelum with that short right hook. He drops. He drops hard. Imagine if Kelvin dropped like that and then just put his hands up and leaned over instead of popping right back up.
Yeah.
There's a difference there.
But no shame.
And like I said, that's what I mean. No shame whatsoever, because I would do the exact same thing. Fuck that. But
against Nunes, I would do the exact same thing.
But if you find yourself doing that, maybe we need to figure out what we're doing from here on out.
I see what you're saying. Maybe not a fighter,
disrespect. Huh? I mean, that was zero disrespect. But you're in the UFC, You're
going to get hit in the face hard.
You're going to get hit in the face hard. You cannot go far in the sport unless you're able to dig deep in those moments. She's early, right?
Maybe she goes to see the same sports psychiatrist that one guy was going to. Do you remember?
Yeah, maybe.
Whatever can help her out. Hopefully she comes back from this strong. But Nunes, she's going to be trouble, man. All right.
She's going to be trouble for sure. Her hand speed is insane.
Before this, we had William Knight versus Fabio Cherant.
I feel for Cherant, man.
Yeah?
I really feel for that guy. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I like him, and he's had a tough go with he took that short notice fight against Alonzo Menafield on like 2 weeks notice and got Von Flue choked. And then it's like, and you could just see the disappointment. He's like, dude, I didn't get to show what like I can do, you know?
Hey, at least he didn't get choked out this time again.
True.
But
and at least he did show some of his game.
He did.
And he got hit with something that probably shouldn't knock somebody out, but William Knight, I think, hits hard as fuck because that shot was not a good shot.
I haven't seen somebody look so angry in the octagon in such a long time.
Like, fucking hell, man.
Just whenever, like, if Cherant would land a jab, Knight looked like he took it so personally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he just looked angry in there. Like, he looked like he was throwing with bad intent every single time. Yeah. And he looks the part, man. He's
he really
solid.
Does.
He's solid.
He's very solid. He needs to work on a few things for sure. He's still young, right? He's super young. But like there's definitely things that kind of got shown in this fight. I think Cherant might be the more well-rounded fighter. But kind of just went ham a little bit and he shouldn't have he came in a little over aggressive, got caught.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they both, this is a learning fight for both of them if they want to look at it that way.
So the last few folks that we've spoken about, Pantoja is one of the ones that got the 50K bonus. Nunes, another one that got a 50K bonus. And Mr. Knight here, William Knight, another one that got a 50K bonus.
Deserves it.
No, absolutely, man. It was a great performance. Before that fight, we had Ignacio Bahamondes versus Roosevelt Roberts. So when you went back to watch these fights, well, did you understand why I told you these fights are crazy?
Yes, 100%. And Bahamondes, we've talked about him before. When I saw that he was on this card, I was like, fuck yeah, dude. This guy brings it. He is there. He is there's a winner every fight, right? Someone wins, unless it's a draw. But then there's winners of the night, and I think Bahamondes is probably the winner of the night. I think his fight did more for him than anybody else's fights on the card. I think he is a very, very, very exciting prospect. He is so high level, man. Look at that shit.
Oh man,
look at that, dude.
With I believe it was 8 seconds left.
Yeah.
8 seconds left when he caught him with that kick, man.
Heard the clackers and was like, "Fuck it, I'll throw a wheel kick."
Why not? The crazy thing is that he was throwing the spinning heel kick to the midsection over and over and over again the entire fight. Hurt him once, actually. Hurt him once to the body really bad.
Hurt him a couple times to the body. Hurt him to the body once with a wheel kick or the turning side kick, but hurt him again with a punch to the body later on. Dude, Bahamondes is dangerous, dude. You cannot let him get started. You just cannot let him get started. Because
and you see Hubbard starting to break too, because there's a few times when they would break after some exchanges, and he would look up at the clock. You know, go through an exchange, look up at the clock. So you're like, all right, he just can't wait to get out of there.
Or how about when he would get like tripped or something and end up on his back?
Yep.
You could see the dynamic there between the two fighters, that it was Bahamondes was dictating the fight, you know.
Now the thing that Roberts had going from that night was the jab.
Yeah, he's got a great jab.
Got a great jab. And when you take a look at Bahamondes, like if you're going into the last minute, and that's when you first tuned in, last minute of the third round, you're thinking to yourself, man, Bahamondes is probably getting beat up because he's wearing it.
Yeah.
He's wearing it on his face, right? And Roberts looked pretty clean. But dude, Bahamondes, like he definitely had the most significant strikes throughout the night.
Dude, and definitely the most significant strikes of the night. But can we talk about his ability to attack the legs, the body, and the head at almost what seems like an equal amount? And it's not like, oh, maybe 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. No, dude, it's like double digits every round. Like he is nasty. His understanding of range, of finding holes for strikes no matter where on the body. Like, dude, he is dangerous. He's super dangerous. And you see someone like that, normally you think, okay, wrestler is probably going to be their kryptonite. Did an excellent job defending the takedowns in this fight. I'm so high on him, man. And we have been, right? He lost that split decision against who was his last fight? He lost his last fight, right?
Yes, and it was to John McDessie, split decision.
Not a bad fight. It was a really good fight. And it was one of those fights where McDessie was the one that was able to turn the tide late, right? He's a veteran, though, McDessie. So, but it was the same kind of deal with Bahamondes just picking him apart early in that fight, if I remember right. I think this guy has a bright future, man. I really do.
Yeah, looking forward to watching him fight again. Good story too, right? Because I believe he's the one that left his parents at a very early age to pursue a career in mixed martial arts.
Yeah,
and here he's doing his damn thing, man.
Probably my favorite moment outside of like fight moments of the night was after the fight. He goes over to like the Spanish broadcast booth, and they're like, I didn't see Moreno, but the other guy, I can't remember his name, comes up, and they're like, he's like super happy, and they're like talking to each other and shit. And I was like, dude, it was such a cool moment. You could tell they were just so happy for him. It was cool.
Oh, who was one that this was it, right? Bilal Muhammad, where he comes in and he's super excited. Dude, I love that guy.
And they showed the clip of him on the studio, and he's like watching the fight. He's like, and then as soon as the kick, he's like, oh, and then he just leaves. He just goes to the cage.
Love it, man. I absolutely love it. I love that shit. All right.
What's funny is the ESPN Plus is absolute dog shit for two things. And it's the in between rounds, they go to commercials, horseshit.
Yeah, I hate that.
If you're a subscriber, what the
walk-ins, miss a lot of the walk-ins.
Walk-ins, you miss them. And then the worst thing is post-fight interviews. They're so bad at if there's a curse word in an interview, they block out the whole sentence. I have no idea what he said, and you see DC's face, and he's like, "Whoa!" And
then he goes, "Sorry, they teach me all the bad words."
Yeah, but what they let slip was the reaction video of Bilal Muhammad in the booth or in the studio watching the fight. In the background, you hear someone go, "Holy shit!" and then it cuts real quick.
I noticed that too. It was awesome. All right, the first night of the fight, Brahimaj versus
the first night of the fight.
First fight of the night. First night of the fight. You know what I mean. What'd you think?
I thought it makes sense. It makes sense why the UFC is leaning towards Zhang Wei Li versus Thug Rose again, because they also refused to show the Hong Kong flag for Palatnikov. And instead, it was some weird generic gray flag with like a globe on it. It's like, okay. But, business has got a business, I guess. But it's fucked up, man.
Business has got a business. I mean, that's the NBA. That's LeBron James.
Bro, they don't let you have sponsors. You can only put your flag behind you. And they won't even let him do that. What the fuck?
That's crazy.
Fucked up, man.
That is. But Palatnikov got dealt with.
Fucked up? Yeah. What? Getting choked out like that. That sucks.
It does. He went out, right?
He went out.
We had a few folks go on their shield.
Yeah, and he even said, like, as soon as he went limp, kind of, he's like, he's out. And the ref was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. No, and these folks were for sure out. Not like, what was that fight that happened recently, remember? Where the fighter says, like, he's out, and before anything else happened, the ref runs in and pulls him off. McKee.
Oh,
McKee versus Pitbull. Where he tells the ref, he's like, he's out, and the ref just goes and runs, separates, and Pitbull's like, hey, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, he stared off into the void. But
he stared off into the void.
Later on, he was like, what the fuck was that? I didn't tap.
Hey, back to that fight, though. You could tell he was probably really out because one of the things that he asked to do when the ref came in and said, can we see the replay?
Oh, really?
Like, dude, if you know that you're not really out, you don't need to see the replay.
Yeah. Well, you see him like he's like fighting, and then all of a sudden his hands are like, it's like
they go down, they go limp. Yeah. All right.
Anything else? Brahimaj, dude. I mean, he went through him like butter. He looked so smooth and just concise, and just everything he wanted to do, he just did it with ease. He's scary. He's scary.
Like it. And that's what kicked off those first 4 fights. Dude, So I'm in
He
bed
got-
with
he
my
almost
wife
got- he
and
got 50K too, right?
sorry.
You got 50K too?
Yes, he did.
No, he
Oh no,
didn't.
no, he didn't.
deserves it.
Bahamondes,
He
Knight,
deserves it.
Nunes, and Pantoja.
Yeah, he
Dude,
deserves
again, if they give out 50K to everybody, do you know what that will do to their budget? I keep on telling you this every week, man. Come on.
it.
They can't afford this. They can't afford
Yeah.
this. Endeavor, we need our money, okay? I got stocks. Let's do this.
Yeah, don't show the Hong Kong flag. Let's go back to China with Zhang Wei Li. Like,
Let's do it with Yan Xiaonan in the co-main
Yeah.
event, right?
yeah, even though she just
Give me,
lost to someone
Li
who should be
Jingliang.
getting the title shot.
Give me these fights. I need them. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Richard Casual, you got that video? Will, I wanted Richard Casual to share this video with you because I
Is
know
it a positive video or is it a negative video?
nothing but positivity for me, my man.
All right, cool.
Nothing but positivity. But Richard Casual, were you able to finish loading that up? I hope so. Maybe.
Oh,
Here we go, man. Because I know you love this guy. What do you think of this video? Maybe.
1 second, I gotta add sound. I forgot to add the sound.
Oh, dude, yeah. Sound usually helps out, dude. Thanks.
let the man speak.
No, so
Boss
Boss Rutan, I remember when we had our episode of top characters in the UFC or the history of the UFC, and neither of us picked Boss Rutan. But
He's in
dude, he's
there.
got to be out there. He's got to be up there. Right? When you take a look at your Chael Sonnens, the old McGregor, not so much the new one.
Genki
Boss
Sudo.
Rutan's- yeah, Boss Rutan's got to be out there, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, while Rich is loading that video, we could take a look at next week's fight, man.
Yeah.
I think we have Giga, is it? Shikadze?
Shikadze. Yeah. What? Oh, that's
I
such
got
a
it.
good
It's
fight when
ready.
they announced that. Okay, cool.
All right.
Bing bong, ding dong, ding dong, bong bong, boom, bang 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 dang dang. Try to find a rhythm and have some fun. Bing
Dude.
bong. This is just to show you can do more things. We're breaking it with boom, 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 boom. There's the headbutt, grab neck, knee.
All right, that's good, Rich.
To the
Hey.
side. As soon as you grab my neck, I pull my head here.
Will, how much
Yeah,
do you
he's
miss
the
this
best.
guy, though?
I know. He's the best, man. I wish we could get him more on commentary again because his Pride commentary was so good.
I wish we could get him a lot more just in general.
I know. Well, he's doing the karate combat,
True.
He's out
so
there.
make sure you check out that post because the last video, too, I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see it, the one with George St. Pierre. Did you see that? So you
Yeah,
have
I did. Yeah.
you have Boss Rutan, just this is how you get in a bar fight. This is how you win a bar fight. And you have
Yeah.
George St. Pierre like, this is how you avoid one. You compliment their shirt. You compliment their shoes.
Yeah.
You buy them a drink. And they're just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? All right. Next week's fights, we have Edson Barbosa versus Giga Shikadze.
Yeah.
What, dude? Who do you
I
have going
don't-
into that one?
I don't know. That should be a pick 'em. I don't know. It's just crazy.
That's going to be a fantastic fight. We have old school versus new school, I think, in Barbosa versus Giga, right?
Yeah, a
The
little
newer
bit.
generation. And then another fight that we're looking forward to on this one is Kevin Lee versus D-Rod. Hey, how's he not like co-main event in this one?
Ultimate Fighter finale?
True. Otherwise, I think he
Yeah.
would be, right?
Yeah, definitely
For sure.
definitely. If D-Rod gets past Kevin Lee, which I think he will, that it's off to the races. He's gonna
It's
be a
gotta be.
star. He's gonna
It's
be a
got to
star.
be. All
Yeah.
right. Do you have anything else for this week, Will?
Rest in peace, Sonny Chiba. You see that?
Oh, the trainer?
No. Sonny Chiba, the actor.
Oh, no. Who was the trainer that they kept on putting on yesterday?
I forgot his name. Some Solis.
I can't remember his name. I feel bad now.
It was some
But,
Solis out of Texas, though.
Out of Texas, Houston area,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, rough.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But Sonny Chiba, man, the Street Fighter, Kill Bill,
Oh, yeah. No, for sure.
breaks my goddamn heart, dude.
Hey, well, these things happen, man, as you're getting older,
82 years old, man. COVID got him. Just a bummer, man. I would watch the Street Fighter every Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, I'd put kung fu movies on on like just keep them rolling all through Christmas Day.
What? Really?
Yeah, dude. What, you don't watch kung fu movies, dude?
Well, I wouldn't say like during Christmas. I tell the kids like, "Hey, it's that time of year, kids. Bust out the kung fu movies." You know, like
Bro, I got them all, dude. You just fucking throw them
Christmas
on.
jingles in the background and fucking Bloodsport on the TV. You know, like
Bloodsport every Christmas.
well,
Shaolin versus Wu-Tang every Christmas. The Street Fighter, all that stuff.
well, I guess that's something I'll just have to pick up. I guess I don't know.
It's great, dude. It's a good tradition to have. I recommend everybody do it, man, because fuck. Put the raid on. Come on.
That's hilarious. All right. Well, that's all I got. Do you have anything else, Will?
No. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe. Check us out on the social medias. We also have the Ghost Pepper interview that we'll post.
Yes, Eric Ghost Pepper Gonzalez coming up here later on next week too. So special shout out though to Daniel Gonzalez Pacheco for hopping on with us and commenting throughout the pod, and of course Brian.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
with a Danish representation. All right, thanks for listening to another week of Story of the Fight, everybody.
Yeah, next week Sunday 9 a.m.